Osas and Efe were once a happy couple, living an average but content life in the bustling city of Benin, Nigeria. With two beautiful children, Mason, a bright and curious 5-year-old boy, and Janet, a responsible and bubbly 8-year-old girl, their world was small but complete. Osas, a dedicated nurse at a federal teaching hospital, often looked beyond the borders of Nigeria and dreamed of a better life for her children. She envisioned cleaner streets, better education, safety, and opportunities their homeland couldn't promise. One quiet evening, as the children played in the yard, she shared her heart with Efe. "Let's go to America," she said. "Let's give them a better life." Efe, a respected businessman who ran a thriving building materials venture, hesitated at first. He had built everything with his bare hands, but the love he had for his wife and children outweighed the fear of starting over. And so, the couple sold much of what they had, land, vehicles, and Efe's beloved shop, to fund their relocation. They said their goodbyes, hopeful and afraid, and boarded the plane with dreams in their suitcases. In the United States, Osas adjusted quickly. With persistence, she passed her certification exams and landed a nursing job. Soon, she was the breadwinner, working long shifts, but bringing in stable income. Efe, however, found it difficult. Having been his own boss all his life, he struggled with taking orders, adjusting to a new system, and finding consistent work. He took odd jobs, painting here, landscaping there, but the money was never enough. Stress began to replace affection in their home. Osa's patience wore thin, and Efe's pride slowly crumbled under her criticism. Her words became sharp, disrespectful, especially in front of the children. "You're a man in name only," she'd yell. Efe began to feel like a stranger in his own home, his heart heavy with shame and sadness. He feared the day the police would be called on him, a fate many immigrant men like him knew too well. One night, defeated and broken, Efe made a painful decision. "I'm going back to Nigeria," he told her, "but I want to take Mason and Janet with me." Osas refused. "They stay with me," she snapped. And just like that, Efe left, his heart torn in two. Back in Nigeria, Efe restarted from the bottom. He sold the few properties he had left and went back to what he knew best: business. His resilience paid off. Slowly, his enterprise flourished again. He bought new properties, grew his brand, and even found love once more. Irene, his quiet, supportive partner, came into his life like a balm. Together, they had a son, Terry. Though Efe chose not to marry legally again, perhaps scarred by the past, they built a happy, peaceful home. Meanwhile, in America, Osa's life began to unravel. Without Efe's presence, the burden of raising two children alone while working long shifts overwhelmed her. Bills piled up, school meetings were missed, meals became sparse. The authorities stepped in. Due to safeguarding concerns and allegations of neglect, her children were taken into the custody of the state. Osas was crushed. Her once perfect vision of life abroad had collapsed. Loneliness crept in like a silent disease. She sought comfort in the arms of strangers, but none stayed. They used her, left her emptier than before. Pride kept her from reaching out to Efe, and guilt wouldn't let her sleep. Back in Nigeria, Efe never forgot his children. He stayed in touch with Mason and Janet as best he could, sending money, letters, and calls of encouragement. When they got older, the children reached out more. They remembered their father's kindness, his pain, and the insults he endured. They began to see the truth and resented their mother for it. Janet once told her, "We tried, Mum, but you pushed him away. You pushed us all away." Janet once told her, "We tried, Mum, but you pushed him away. You pushed us all away." Osas tried to rebuild bridges, but the damage was done. Her children, though respectful, had created emotional boundaries she could never cross. In time, even their visits stopped. She spent her final years in isolation, replaying her mistakes like an old song on repeat. She would often sit by the window, waiting for a knock that never came. The woman who once crossed oceans in search of a dream now sat drowning in memories of the home she destroyed with her own hands. She died alone. No man, no child, only silence and regret to keep her company. Osa's sad story is a testament to the fact that ambition without patience can lead to destruction. A home is not built by money alone, but by mutual respect and shared burdens. Sometimes what we're searching for is already in our hands. All that is required of us is to protect it the best way we can.
Please like, share, and follow me if you learn a valuable life lesson from this story.